Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's been some time that I haven't done a masterclass because I have done a few masterclass. If you haven't checked out, I've done a masterclass in how to make chai, how to make chapati, how to make pulao, how to make chole, rajma, all these things. And these are just slightly more detailed videos of how to get it perfect. That's why it's called masterclass. And I have had many requests for how to get perfect rice. Just plain rice, not a pulao, not a biryani, just a basic plain rice that I cook all the time to eat with curries or whatever. So let me get cooking. Before that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. I share 3 recipes a week. You can also check out my membership and for some behind the scenes. And yeah, that's it. Let's get cooking. All I need is rice for this video. How easy is that? Right, just to start off, I want to talk about the rice. Now, growing up in India, there is a variety of rice available in shops. So you can find basmati rice, which my mom only used for pulao, biryani and stuff. So it was meant for special occasions because it was more expensive, special. But for everyday rice, they had a smaller grain rice, and then you would have dosa rice, you would have the same one for idli rice. And in between, there were a few varieties as well. So when I moved to the UK, it was like there was only one rice available. There was sticky white rice, which was used for more kind of Japanesey stuff, and there was basmati rice, and that was it. So I can't find any other rice, and now I've been here for so long that I just use basmati rice for absolutely everything. If I use any other rice, I specify, but if I'm not specifying anything, it's always basmati rice. It might be different brands, but it's basmati rice for everything in my kitchen. Here is the basmati rice. It's beautifully nice long grains, and you will find the difference in these grains from brand to brand. So I am gonna, usually I just make a cup of rice for the whole family, and there is some leftover which we use it for lunchbox next day. So let me get a cup out in a little bowl. So I have to say, I never just put rice directly. I always measure it, not because of how much water I'm going to add, but just because I don't want to make too much. And this cup of rice is, like I said, great for a family of 4, and there is a little bit of leftover for next day as well. So once you have got the rice, the next step is to give it a good wash. So just with normal tap cold water, you're going to wash the rice. So you don't kind of rub it too much because it will break the grains. Be careful of that. Just if you just let it loose, and you can see the water is still very murky. And if anybody tells you you have to wash this till the water is clear, just let me tell you, the water will never be clear. So that's just a lie. All you need to do is wash it 3 to 4 times. You don't have to waste too much water. 3 to 4 times is absolutely fine. It will like get less murky, but it will never be clear. And if anyone says you have to wait till it's clear, you'll be waiting all your life. So that's 4 times, and that is plenty. Okay, now that the washing is done, like I said, you will never get it clear, but 3 to 4 times of just passing it through water is enough. If it's too murky, then maybe 5 to 6 times, but that is plenty. Now, the one thing that I hear a lot from people is the soaking of the rice. So growing up, and still, my mum always soaks the rice for 10 minutes before cooking, always does. But when I came here and I found that the rice was a bit different, I have never soaked. I just don't soak it, and it works perfectly fine. So that is totally up to you. If you want to leave it to soak for 10 minutes, go for it. If you don't want to, because I've never done it, never get sticky rice. It's just something I've not done. It works perfectly fine every single time. So don't do it. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to get some boiling water in a pan to get this cooking without soaking it. Right. Now, when it comes to the size of the pan, you need a nice big pan because you want space for extra water. If you take a smaller pan like this, you will think, oh, this is going to cook, but then it'll absorb all the water and then there isn't space for the rice to swim. So you need a nice big pan. Make sure you have a nice big pan. Obviously, I've got a boiling water tap, but you just need to get a pan with water and bring it to a boil is what you need to do. And you don't need to add anything to this. Don't need any salt in this. You don't need any oil in this. Nothing. And if you have any doubts, just try cooking a little bit, half a cup of rice with this method, and you can get back to me, let me know if it's worked or not. But you have to just trust that this is a process, this is a kind of technique that's been used by many Indian homes, Indian families. My mom just cooks rice like this all the time, every day, except for when she's making pulao and biryani, obviously, because the method is different. But for everyday rice, plain fluffy white rice, this is the only method. Guaranteed grains, separate grains every single time. So what you need to do is let it bubble up nicely, just like pasta water. The only difference being we are not going to add any salt to this. Once it's bubbling, we add the rice. And you straight away stir it in so that it doesn't stick together. It will still stick together, but stir it in, and after 5 minutes we'll stir it again. This is what I mean. So I don't, there is no measurement for water. There was only this much rice in here, and then you've got so much extra water. So you need, and you'll see why in a minute, you need that extra water. Leave it for 5 minutes, and I'm just going to cook this on medium high heat the whole time. Okay, just very important thing to say here, that I can't give you an exact time of how long it takes to cook this. The reason being that rice grains are grown all over the world. You might be using rice from anywhere, and every kind of grain takes different amount of time to cook. What you do need to do is don't go far away from your pan. So for me, this rice takes whether I use 2-3 different brands. Whatever the brand I use, it takes roughly the same time actually. For me, it's around, I will tell you actually, I'll time it today. So it's okay, I'll tell you exactly how long this has taken. What I do is when I'm cooking rice, I don't just leave the kitchen and go. Not that I have to stand like this for 10 minutes, but I can be around and doing some work, but keep coming back here every few minutes because it does turn very, very quickly. So after 2-3 minutes, you give it a stir again, and then it doesn't stick. Have a coffee, do some emails, do some other housework, or eat some melon. So sweet. Every 3 to 4 minutes, just stir it, and you can see it's not stuck together, and you can see that the rice has started to cook. where the outside of the grain is a bit more translucent, and that is, the outside is starting to cook. And for all those who have not watched a masterclass before, please don't comment that I'm talking too much in the video, because that's the whole point of masterclass. If you don't want any talking, just go and check out another recipe. But masterclass is where I am giving extra little tips of making simple things perfectly every single time. So obviously I'm going to be doing more talking, just like duh. So yeah, just don't bother putting that comment in the video. So you can actually look at the pan and tell that the rice is almost ready, because the water kind of gets a bit thicker, and you can remove this little bit of stuff from the top. And you can see that the rice has started to float on top, which is a sign that it is almost cooked. Wow, look at that. So that is actually done. I'll show you in the sunlight. So now what we do is we take it straight away immediately and drain this. So don't let it sit around. It needs to be drained straight away. And that, my friends, took exactly 9 minutes to cook, because I did time it this time so that I can tell you. Okay, let me show you in the sun. Okay, so you can see that this is properly cooked. Look at that. And the good thing is that the best is to leave it alone for at least 5-10 minutes, because if you start straight away, then it will start breaking because the rice is still hot. I'm doing it so I can show you that this is how you're going to get absolutely perfect fluffy rice every single time. And there is your perfect plate of rice every single time. No need to measure any water, no need to kind of be crazily looking at setting your timer. Just wash up some rice, cook it in extra water, and you get fluffy rice every single time. Try this method and please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you back with another new recipe. If you have any specific masterclasses in mind you want me to share, then also let me know in the comments below. Till then, bye. Cook a nice curry and serve it with this. Enjoy.